Good afternoon, everybody. So, friends, thank you for coming. We will begin our program this afternoon with an opening prayer. I request Pastor Subbarao from the Indian Baptist Society to come and lead us in an opening prayer. Pastor Subbarao.
Let's look to the Lord in prayer. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕಣ್ಣುಗಳನ್ನು ಮುಚ್ಚಿ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಸೋಣ. ಸರ್ವ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಕರ್ತನಾದಂಥ ದೇವರೇ, ಕೃಪೆಗಳ ರಾಜ, ಕನಿಕರವುಳ್ಳ ದೇವ, ನಿತ್ಯವೂ ನಿರಂತರವೂ ಏಕ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ರಕ್ಷಕ, ನನಗೆ ವಂದನೆಗಳು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವಪ್ಪ. ಅಯ್ಯ, ಈ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನಗಳ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಸನ್ನಿಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕೃತಜ್ಞತೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಆಚರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರುವಾಗ, ಅಯ್ಯ ನಿನ್ನ ಸನ್ನಿಧಿ ದೇವ, ನಿನ್ನ ಪ್ರಸನ್ನತೆ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಸಂಗಡ ಇರಲಿಯಪ್ಪ. ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನವೀನ್ ಥಾಮಸ್ ಅವರ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ, ಕುಟುಂಬದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀನು ಮಾಡಿದ ಉಪಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ನನಗೆ ವಂದನೆಗಳು, ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂಥ ಉಪಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ನನಗೆ ಕೃತಜ್ಞತಾಸ್ತುತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಕಳೆದ ವರ್ಷಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ನೀನು ಅಯ್ಯ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಪಾಡಿದೆಯೋ, ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದೇನೂ ನಿನ್ನ ಕೃಪದಿಂದ ಅಯ್ಯ ನೀನೇ ಕಾಪಾಡಿ ನಡೆಸು ದೇವರೇ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ನೀನೇ ಆದಿಯೂ ಅಂತ್ಯವಾಗಿದ್ದು ಸಮಸ್ತವೂ ಸಕ್ರಮವಾಗಿ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿ ನಿನ್ನ ನಾಮಕ್ಕೆ ಮಹಿಮೆಕರವಾಗಿ ನಡೆಯುವಂತೆ ಕೃಪೆಯನ್ನು ನೀಡು ಅಯ್ಯ. ನೀನೇ ರಕ್ಷಕರು, ಸಹಾಯಕರು, ಒಡೆಯನಾಗಿದ್ದು ನಡೆಸಿ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಮಾಡು. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡು. ಯೇಸುವಿನ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠವುಳ್ಳ ಶಕ್ತಿಯುಳ್ಳ ನಾಮದಿಂದ ಬೇಡಿ ಹೊಂದುತ್ತೇವೆ ಕರ್ತನೇ. ಆಮೆನ್, ಆಮೆನ್.
Thank you, Pastor Subbarao. Friends, we've gathered here to celebrate and appreciate the leadership of Dr. Naveen Thomas as Director CEO. We would like to begin by singing a song of praise and thanksgiving to God. May I request you to please stand up as we open in the congregational song, following which I request Mrs. Leelavati, Chaplain Leelavati, to come and read the scripture to us.
ದಾವಿದನ ಕೀರ್ತನೆಗಳು 90ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯದಿಂದ ಕೆಲವು ವಚನಗಳು ಹಾಗೂ 91ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯದಿಂದ ಕೆಲವು ವಚನಗಳನ್ನು ಓದಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಕರ್ತನೇ, ತಲತಲಾಂತರಗಳಿಂದಲೂ ನಮ್ಮ ವಾಸಸ್ಥಾನವು ನೀನೇ. ಬೆಟ್ಟಗಳು ಉಂಟಾಗುವುದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಭೂಮಿಯು ಅದರ ದೇಶಗಳು ನಿರ್ಮಾಣವಾಗುವುದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚಿನಿಂದ ಯುಗಾಂತರಗಳಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ನೀನೇ ದೇವರು. ನಮ್ಮ ಯೆಹೋವ ದೇವರ ಪ್ರಸನ್ನತೆಯು ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರಲಿ. ನಾವು ಕೈ ಹಾಕಿದ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ನಮಗೆ ಸಫಲಪಡಿಸು. ನಾವು ಕೈ ಹಾಕಿದ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಸಫಲಪಡಿಸು. ಪರಾತ್ಮರನ ಮೊರೆ ಹೊಕ್ಕಿರುವವನು ಸರ್ವಶಕ್ತನ ಆಶ್ರಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸುರಕ್ಷಿತನಾಗಿರುವನು. ನಾನು ಕರ್ತನಿಗೆ, ನೀನೇ ನನ್ನ ಶರಣನು, ನನ್ನ ದುರ್ಗವು, ನಾನು ಭರವಸವಿಟ್ಟಿರುವ ನನ್ನ ದೇವರು ಎಂದು ಹೇಳುವೆನು. ಅವನು ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಸಕ್ತನಾಗಿರುವುದರಿಂದ ಅವನನ್ನು ರಕ್ಷಿಸುವೆನು. ನನ್ನ ನಾಮವನ್ನು ಅರಿತವನಾಗಿರುವುದರಿಂದ ಅವನನ್ನು ಉದ್ಧರಿಸುವೆನು. ಅವನು ನನಗೆ ಮೊರೆ ಇಡುವಾಗ ಸದುತ್ತರವನ್ನು ದಯಪಾಲಿಸುವೆನು. ಇಕ್ಕಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹತ್ತಿರವಿದ್ದು ಅವನನ್ನು ತಪ್ಪಿಸಿ ಘನಪಡಿಸುವೆನು. ದೀರ್ಘಾಯುಷ್ಯವನ್ನು ಅನುಗ್ರಹಿಸಿ ಅವನನ್ನು ತೃಪ್ತಿಪಡಿಸುವೆನು. ನನ್ನ ವಿಶೇಷವಾದ ರಕ್ಷಣೆಯನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸುವೆನು. ದೇವರ ಈ ವಾಕ್ಯವನ್ನು ಆಶೀರ್ವದಿಸಿ.
Thank you, Sister Leela. And I will now request our Associate Director and Head of Medical Services, Dr. Philip Thomas, to come and welcome the gathering.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we thank God for His faithfulness to BBH through Dr. Naveen's services as Director over the last 7 years. And it's a joy to welcome our guests who have joined us today. Dr. J.V. Peter, the Director of Christian Medical College, Bangalore, and the Chairman of our Governing Board, the minute he was told about this program, he wholeheartedly agreed and is here with us today. Welcome, sir. The other partner of BBH is the International Mission Board. Colonel Deepak Banyan represents the International Mission Board on our governing board, and he is here with us. Welcome to you, sir. We have our previous directors here in our midst, and it is a very special thing to have them with us. We have Dr. Santosh Benjamin. Welcome to you, sir. Dr. Alexander Thomas is here. Dr. Glory, welcome, sir. We heard Pastor Subbarao just now. He is from the Indian Baptist Society. Along with him, Pastor Jacob, Mrs. Nirmala, and Mr. Gideon is also with us. Welcome. A special word of welcome to Pastor Philip Mesulak and his wife. They were with us during the induction when Dr. Naveen took over. Thank you, sir, for being with us. Mr. Sergeant George, a dear friend of the hospital, is here. Welcome. Mr. Thomas Verghese is here with us. Welcome to you, sir. Mr. Basil, who has been a member of our governing board as an invitee, has joined us today evening. Welcome to you, sir. Dr. Fred Uman from the Seventh-day Adventist Hospital is here with us today evening. Welcome to you, sir. Dr. Gift has travelled and is with us. Dr. Naveen's extended family is here. We thank you for being with us during this occasion. There are many friends and well-wishers also along with us. We cordially invite you to this occasion.
Thank you, Dr. Philip. Have you heard of the BBH cap? You've not heard of the BBH cap. Have you seen the BBH cap? It's a very special cap, and the number of feathers on it keeps on growing. So, sir, we have 2 more feathers on that cap. So, before I announce what that is, may I request our chairman of the board and the director of CMC Bangalore, Dr. J.V. Peter, to come on stage, please. I also request our Director Designate, Dr. Spurgeon, our Associate Director, Dr. Philip, and Mr. Sunny Kurula to come on the stage. The first one is the Living and Learning Center. We are going to dedicate the Living and Learning Center. I'm going to call Sister Leena from the Principal of the Nursing Institute and 2 student representatives to come forward as we dedicate the Living and the Learning Center. May I request Dr. J.V. Peter to do the honors. Dr. Naveen, I forgot you. Please do come. Dr. Madhuri heads the pediatric department and played a critical role in designing this place. May I request Dr. J.V. Peter to hand over the key to the pediatric department. Shall we put our hands together? Thank you very much. Dr. J.V. Peter, may I invite you to speak to the audience.
Good evening, friends. Baptist has a very profound effect on my mood. It elevates my mood. I don't know what you do, but it does. Greetings from Christian Medical College, Bangalore. I want to start with a disclaimer. How many of you see movies? I do. Most of you do, I think. You don't need to feel bad, no? A disclaimer comes often in a movie which says, the characters represented in this movie are entirely fictional and any resemblance to anyone living or dead is purely coincidental. So you may be wondering what disclaimer I'm going to say now. What I'm going to say now is the truth, the full truth, and nothing but the truth. And I've exactly listed what Naveen has asked me to say, and I said verbatim. I was thinking, how can one blend a message? You put down, unfortunately, a message, and you said felicitations to Naveen. It would have been easy. But how do you blend a felicitation with a message? How do you say thank you to someone who has so diligently served this institution? I want to look at 3 biblical characteristics that exemplify Naveen. And these 3 are obedience, faithfulness, and meekness. I was reminded of the verse which says, obedience is better than. You're all well read, you know your scriptures well. Having been in a position of authority, we always tend to think we are a scapegoat. I don't think Naveen feels that, but I've often felt, oh, I've sacrificed so much, I've lost my sleep, I've lost my family time, I've lost my peace, whatever. That is not important to God. What is important to God is obedience. And I've always seen Naveen, it's going to be nearly 40 years since I first met him, be obedient to kingdom principles. That is stood through right through his career. So much so, we used to call him Achan. I still call him Achan. He gets very upset. He said, no promotion. So I've now started calling him Trimeni. So that's the first characteristic. The second characteristic is faithfulness. I read a very interesting quote which says, when faithfulness is most difficult, it is most necessary. Another very favorite statement of mine, I keep saying this whenever I get the opportunity, is when we meet the Lord, He doesn't ask how much did you do, how many souls you touched, how many surgeries you did, how many degrees you have. We think that is important. But more than that, God asks, were you faithful to what I entrusted in your hands? And I think, Naveen, you did exemplify that faithfulness, and we want to thank God for that. The third characteristic is meekness. And again, I want to quote a phrase that I've heard very, very early in my life. Greatness is not required, but meekness for the master's use. I might have said this earlier. Now, meekness is always misinterpreted as being weak, not being able to be decisive, not being able to take bold decisions to move forward. The meekness, I believe, exemplifies three special characteristics, again, which I see in Naveen. Simplicity. In Tamil they say Banda. I don't remember seeing that Banda in him. I think I have a lot of it, but Naveen doesn't have any of that. The second is humility. He doesn't keep boasting, blowing the trumpet. And that is another very unique characteristic of this meekness. And the third is approachability. I have seen him stop by and talk to the least, what we think are the least in this institution. Thank you, Naveen, for exemplifying these kingdom values and perspectives. And as you move on to another phase of life, I believe God has very many more things to achieve in and through you. I want to bless you and wish you all the best. Thank you.
I requested the chairman to stay back. In Baptist Hospital, there's something called the staircase challenge. Some people are already giggling. If you walk up the staircase with Dr. Naveen, if you win that trip up to the third floor, please meet me. I told Dr. Naveen you have to come many times up and down, so would you please come to the stage? Dr. Naveen, please come to the stage. Can I also request Dr. Asha and the family to come to the stage, please? Can I request the chairman of the board, Dr. J.V. Peter, to hand over a special memento to Dr. Naveen Thomas? And show go ahead a standing ovation before you. Can I request Mrs. Hannah to hand over a very special bouquet along with Madhavi to the family? Dr. Asha, will you receive it on behalf of the family? Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. The measure of a leader is not the number of people who serve him, but the number of people he serves. Let me read that again. The measure of a leader is not the number of people who serve him, but the number of people he serves. 1,400 and much, much more, sir. We will now move to a time of felicitation. I'm going to request our former director, Dr. Santosh Benjamin, to come to the stage and say a few words.
Just a few memories I have of Naveen. Naveen joined us 33 years ago, almost, 1988, and that's a long time. He just finished his MBBS and his internship, and he joined us to do his commitment. They used to call it the bond then. And my first memory of Naveen is him sitting in the surgical OPD, glued to his chair, and he wouldn't move from that. Now and then we'd go for a cup of coffee, but Naveen never joined us. And he was there, sitting there, and you could see the back of his head with the spiky hair. Then he rotated between the departments, I think, wherever there was a need, medical, surgical, OPDs. And the other thing about Naveen, he always wore a tie. And we would say, why is this guy wearing a tie? Because none of us wore a tie. And nobody in Bangalore wears a tie except K.V. Mathai, who was the neurosurgeon. He was the only guy in Bangalore who wore a tie. But Naveen used to wear a tie, and his favorite color was red. I still remember that. Well, after 2 years, he disappeared, went back to Bangalore to do his MS. And then he returned, and when he came back, he really got involved in the Department of Surgery. We were just starting laparoscopic work, and people from CMC would come and give us a hand. But the moment Naveen came, that responsibility he took. And as it was mentioned, he walks fast. Very difficult to keep up with him, I don't know how Asha manages. And I very distinctly remember Naveen had a treadmill test. And the physician was Pratap Tharia. We never had cardiologists at the time, and the physicians were in charge of overseeing the treadmill. And at the end of the treadmill test, I asked Pratap, how did he go? And his exact words were, he ran like a horse. You remember that, Naveen? Okay. And then, the thing about Naveen is, he's not judgmental. You agree with that? He's so forgiving, Amit, you broke a leg once, You probably don't. But you were a neonate then, a little baby. And Naveen he was brought to the pediatric department, and he was in a gallows splint. That was the treatment then for. And it was obvious the lady who was looking after him dropped him as the baby. But Naveen didn't say a word. I don't think he said a harsh word to that lady. She continued to work with them for some time. I know if it happened to me, I would be jumping up and down, But that's Naveen for you. Then he disappeared again, went off to Bangalore and did his MCH in pediatrics. In between, of course, he got married. Right? Was that your MS time? That he got married. And he came back with his wife at that time. And then he came back after his MCH and established the department of surgery. And Naveen was always at the cutting edge. He introduced so many things. We were sort of old-fashioned, I certainly was. And he always wanted to do new things, try out new things, and get new equipment. He was very innovative, which we weren't. He brought in new ideas into the department. He invested in technology. Okay. For example, he started doing staple hemorrhoidectomy. And people saying, why is this guy doing this? He was the first one to do it, and that was something new. People appreciated that. The recovery was so much faster. There was so little pain. But old-timers like me had difficulty grasping this particular technology. But that was Naveen. I don't remember much about Naveen after he took over as a director, but I was not here at the time. But as I walked along the corridors of this hospital, I could sense a certain peace and calmness, and people were happy. And I think they were also creative in their work. And Naveen gave them a free hand to grow, which is what a director really should do. Then one more thing that I remember very distinctly. One man came into the emergency department in the middle of the night. And he said, "I've been bitten by a snake." And the junior doctor, for whatever reason, didn't agree with him, thought he was drunk, put him in a wheelchair, literally put him in a wheelchair, and took him out of the gate. And the auto rickshaw drivers who were there, this was in the middle of the night, brought him back. And unfortunately, this guy died. And he belonged to a particular community in town. And they were violent people. And the next morning, there were 20 or 30 of them ready to break this hospital and really cause damage. And they wanted to know who was in charge. And one easy way out, CMC is in charge. And they insisted that the CMC director comes now to Baptist Hospital. And really, it was Naveen who sorted this whole thing out. It was his command of the language of Kannada and the way he wrote that whole incident. And we had to come to some financial agreement, and all that was documented by Naveen in pure Kannada. And that was what impressed him. And before the end of the day, they were literally eating out of his hands. And if it wasn't for him, we would have been in real big trouble that day. Naveen, I just want to wish you all the best. You have a long way ahead of you, new challenges, and just to thank you for everything that you have done for this institution. A big, big thank you from all of us.
I think Dr. Alex has just stepped out for a prior commitment. We will have Dr. Caroline from the Community Health Department read to us a very special message from Dr. Rebecca Naylor, one of our former directors. She's in the US.
It's my honor and privilege to read out Dr. Naylor's note for Dr. Naveen. In the Bible, we read a story which Jesus told. A man was going away for some time. So he called his servants and entrusted his possessions to each according to their ability. When he returned, he called them for an accounting. 2 of the 3 had invested wisely, and the possessions had grown, even doubled what was given to them. The man commended them, saying, "Well done, good and faithful servant." 7 years ago, Dr. Naveen Thomas was entrusted with a huge responsibility, that of leading Bangalore Baptist Hospital and its many-faceted work. With great faith and much dependence on God, he humbly moved forward and served. During this time, the institution has continued its growth in facilities and services. Dr. Naveen has invested well in people, the leadership team, the staff, the students, the patients, and the broader community. Emphasis on quality care with compassion has permeated BBH. Academic programs have been added, always maintaining high standards. Influence across India has expanded in the areas of quality, patient care, teaching, and partnerships to help struggling mission hospitals. Surely, this has all happened amidst many crises and challenges during which Dr. Naveen stood strong, leading by example and by his faithfulness to God and to the vision of BBH. We join together today as BBH family to say to Dr. Naveen, well done, good and faithful servant. Signed, Dr. Rebecca Naylor.
Thank you, Dr. Caroline. I now request Colonel Deepak Badian to come forward and on behalf of the International Mission Board to speak to us.
Respected Chairman of the Board, other dignitaries present, Dr. Spurgeon, Director Designate, friends and staff of BBH, it's wonderful to be a part of this Thanksgiving service. At a time like this, it is a joy to see our ex-directors, Dr. Alex has gone out, and Dr. Benjamin, and Dr. Naveen, you are soon to join this distinguished gathering. You know, your picture will be up there. But congratulations, Dr. Naveen, for a race well run. May God's blessings be upon you and your family. On behalf of the International Mission Board, I am grateful to see and to note how you have kept this tripartite relationship between Christian Medical College Bangalore, International Mission Board and the BBH, kept it firm and kept it going. This has been a strong foundation of this institution. And right from the days of Dr. Naylor, Dr. McCartan, Dr. Benjamin and Alex and now Dr. Naveen, this institution has grown stronger based on this tripartite relationship. Thank you also, Dr. Naveen, for building the relationship between Indian Baptist Society and BBH. You were always approachable and your advice has been valuable to IBS. I would ask you to please accept on behalf of the IBS a bouquet from our President, Pastor Jacob, a bouquet of flowers, and as a gratitude for what you have been to IBS and you will continue to be. Like Santosh Benjamin said, you have many more fruitful years ahead of you. We wish you good health and wisdom. And lastly, we thank Dr. Asha and the family for your sacrifice and support to see Naveen through this time when he was both the director and CEO of Bangalore Baptist Hospital. We wish you all the best. May God bless your family and may God bless Bangalore Baptist Hospital. Thank you.
Alex will join us soon. We will have a very special song now.
Our dearest Dr. Naveen, as we sing this song very specially for you, we want to pray and we want to tell you that the Lord is your shepherd, and surely His mercies and His grace will continue with you.
He makes me lie in pastures green.
Can I request the admin committee to come on stage, please? Can I request the members of the administrative committee to come on the stage? I'm going to invite our associate director and head of the admin division, Mr. Sunny Kuruvilla, to speak to us.
Telling Dr. Abis, I'm going to speak a long time. We're going to stay that long. I have noticed one little boy wearing a t-shirt, and what is written at the back of it is like this: if you think I am cute, you should see my dad. If you feel Dr. Naveen is cute, you must see his father, his dad. I'll tell you more about that. Dr. Naveen's father was an urchin from Marthoma Church, late Reverend P.J. Thomas, an ordained minister from the Marthoma Church, and he chose to serve the people of Karwar, Honavar, Kunda, Ankola and other coastal villages of Karnataka. In 1940, 4 of them, Achin plus another 3, from Cochin they took a ship, those days ship, I don't know what type of ship, reached coastal North Karnataka, that's a history says in written. Reached and started serving the people of that area, especially in education, in the love of Christ. They have developed schools and they developed so many ministries there, missions there, along with Dr. Naveen's mother. Remember, Dr. Naveen's mother at that time was an MSc M.Ed, chose to teach rural villagers in that area. With the higher qualifications they got some invitation from the secretariat to join there back in the government sector, but they denied because of the love of Christ. And this is not 1 or 2 years, 50 years, 1940 to 1990. They never went back to Kerala to settle down. Even after retirement, they continued to serve the people of this soil. And that is what the Kannada blend in Dr. Naveen. Dr. Naveen comes from a family of values, a legacy of commitment. And that's how we see him over the years in Bangalore Baptist Hospital. Not only that, how many of us know that he was a rank holder in his 10th board exam and first in Kannada language in Karnataka. That's why his Kannada coming Now, we know the time has come, Dr. Naveen, to hand over the leadership baton. Such a sweet transition we are witnessing as staff of Bangalore Baptist Hospital at this point in time. There are 4 things as leaders of this institution and the entire BBH see him. I just want to share 4 things. One is, first of all, we know Dr. Naveen as a people person. He has valued relationships and people over systems and processes in this hospital. He has trusted people and taken interest in their growth. And you are the witness, the BBH family, the witness of that. Being director of Bangalore Baptist Hospital, Dr. Naveen created more fans than employees. I am sure BBH would agree also with me that there is a mentor and a coach in Dr. Naveen, not only DNP students, all of us felt and experienced in the last many years in this hospital. Wherever there is a credit due, he gave the credit there. And irrespective of the profession, you are in this hospital, he loved all of them beyond their professional category. Secondly, Dr. Naveen taught this institution the principle of giving. Give, you will be blessed. That we experienced as BBH. Last many years we tried to practice, including a tithe, including a portion of what we earn, set aside, give it to other missions and other people in need. Therefore we experienced the joy of giving in this hospital. In return, whether we expected or returned, we received so much favor from people, favor from many authorities and long-lasting relationship and resources. That's what we see all around Baptist and even beyond Baptist Hospital. Not only that, in this period we focused with his leadership to listen to the voiceless, to the poor and the marginalized wherever is possible. So already Dr. JVP was talking about that. That was one of the strengths we had. Thirdly, though we know him as a person full of jokes, whenever he starts his message with a joke and a humor, but there is also a firm person underneath. He took some stand, some decision wherever it is required as a firm leader. For Baptist, Dr. Naveen has repeatedly taken the right stand at the right time that some of us very well know about. Lastly, his trust in the Lord was very strong and is strong. During the challenging situations, he led us to nail down, including the director's office. And he used to say and teach, it is his business. Leave it to him. Therefore, a sense of peace all of us enjoyed, a sense of calmness as leaders of this institution and as BBH family, all of us. And we experienced that sense even at the time of turmoil. Dr. Naveen, as you move on from this term of director, we are sure that you will be still available in Bangalore Baptist Hospital to help us in various capacities, in various ways, as you move on the next level, next few years from now. And we thank you for what you have done to all of us in the family, for supporting him and supporting BBH. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Sunny. I'm sure the admin committee wouldn't mind standing a little longer in honor of their leader. I'm going to request our director designate, Dr. Spurgeon, to come and speak to us.
Warm greetings in Jesus' name. I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the staff and the students of Bangalore Baptist Hospital for your dedicated service as our director and CEO. Truly a formidable labor of love that has built our organization what it is today. For the past 7 years, your tenure as director and CEO of BBH has been characterized by immense growth in the clinical services, the diagnostic services, and also the expansion of the community service. And now BBH has entered the life-saving arena of renal and bone marrow transplantation under your leadership. We have also strengthened our credibility and expanded our visibility as an organization thanks to your strategic direction. We are especially thankful for the manner you led BBH with resilience during the times of COVID, despite many lockdowns, despite patients not coming to BBH. You stood tall, and it has been a true testament of God's providence and all sufficient grace. The jar did not run dry. Your spirit and your devotion to your role will be difficult to match. I was thinking this morning, probably I should self-medicate with growth hormone to match your shoe size. Not only the shoe size, as Dr. Benjamin mentioned, you walk very fast. Some of us in the AC will say you are set up there at the express. But I am grateful that your prudent leadership has placed BBH on a strong footing. For those who follow you, as you often say, God works in spite of us for His glory. And it is a consolation for each one of us. And we thank God for your stewardship, for your friendship, and for your timely wisdom. You have fought a good fight, and you have completed, and you have kept your faith well done. You have been faithful in whatever that was entrusted to you. And henceforth, we as BBH, we love you very much. Shall we give Dr. Naveen a big round of applause? Dr. Naveen will take the new role of being a senior advisor, and will also heading the networks and development of BBH henceforth. Thank you for what you are, Dr. Naveen. God bless.
Dr. Naveen, all that you're missing is a burgundy colored mask. I really wish you could get one. Sir, can I call you on the stage, please? Friends, you might have realized in the past few weeks, we've been getting to most of you, practically all of you, to sign a special autograph book. And now we're going to request the administrative committee, headed by Dr. Spurgeon, our director designate, to hand over this special book to Dr. Naveen Thomas. You remember this event? Yeah. In the hot sun? But even the sun doesn't matter. This was the drone, you remember? Yeah. Dr. Naveen, will you stay back for a moment? You know, have you heard of that statement, laughter is the best medicine? But I wonder how that word medicine creeped up then. Why wasn't it surgery? So I did a bit of research and I found out that in the 1300s, there was a surgeon, a professor of surgery by the name of Henry D. Mondeville. He propagated post-operative therapy with humor. So there's a laughter also has got surgery in it. And there was another gentleman called Cousin, very interesting name. He said 10 minutes of laughter results in 2 hours of pain-free sleep. Sir, we're ready for the humor and we want to hear from you, all yours.
My dear friends, my sisters and brothers, I joined BBH when Earth's crust was still cooling. There were some dinosaurs walking around. And of course, Mrs. Hannah was also. Dr. Benjamin was there too. And Dr. Alexander. I didn't say you were old. There was an undertaker and the function was going on. There was a coffin in front. Lot of people said lot of good things about the person who had passed on. So his wife came running to the front, opened the coffin and ran back. Why did you do that? No, I just wanted to make sure it was my husband. I wish all that you said was true. Only my wife knows the truth. There was a Buddhist monk, the senior one, and there were a lot of people in training. They came to him and they asked him, Guru, is it okay for us to send emails. That is the new thing now. Quite a few years ago, they asked him. He said, okay, come back tomorrow. I will meditate on it and tell you the answer. The next morning, when they came to him, waiting for the verdict, he said, yes, I've got the answer for you. You may send emails, just that there should be no attachments. I think that is a lesson for us. We are here for a very short time, kept here for a very short time. We move on and we have relationships, but no permanent attachments. We move on. But as I look back, there is an overwhelming sense of gratitude with which I stand here. First is gratitude to God. 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 7. I will read that for you. What have you that you did not receive? And if you did receive it, why do you boast as though you did not? Wonderful, isn't that true? As BBH family, we can testify to this. We have received so much. 2 Samuel 7 and verse 18, David says, who am I, O sovereign Lord, and what is my family that you have brought me this far? God has worked in spite of us, and that is true. And that is true. Second is that there is an overwhelming sense of gratitude to our staff. You have been phenomenal. The COVID season brought out the best in you. None of you ever said, this is not my job, or why should I do it? None of you said that. Supervisors, consultants, clinicians, non-clinicians, nurses, paramedics, support staff, the project staff, security, students, teachers, admin committee colleagues, front desk, everywhere you have been there. Ladies and gentlemen, please accept my respect and acknowledgement that you have done truly well and remarkably well. It has been my privilege to work alongside with you. If I have hurt anyone, forgive me, it is purely intentional. The third is that there is gratitude to our legacy, legacy of credible leadership. Dr. Naylor, she has sent her greetings and prayerful wishes. Dr. McCartan has sent his apologies and regards. Dr. Benjamin, thank you for being here. We thank God for your advice, your example in life and continued friendship. Dr. Alex, Glory, please convey that, for his continuing support to us in every way possible. We stand on the shoulders of giants who have contributed so much, and we thank you for that. Gratitude, lastly, it is gratitude to our partners. Dr. J.V. Peter represents CMC Vellore, and as director of CMC, he is the chairman of the board, and CMC gave us absolute freedom and latitude at work and encouragement at every stage. Southern Baptist Society, Southern Baptist Convention, and our parent body, and you have represented this from Banyan, IBS. Thank you, dear friends, for being here. Pastors, dear friends, Pastor Philip and Mrs. Hannah, Pastor Vivek, Unikrishnan, Pastor Dr. Sam Philip and Mercy, and I don't know if I have met some more. I will catch you as we finish this. My own family, and I'm so grateful, my older sister Dr. Sushila, Dr. Usha and brother-in-law Mr. Isho Jacob. Mr. Isho is the one who was asked, how come you look so young? He said, no, it's all black magic. And you both are the reason I got connected to BBH, and thank you for that. Asha, my life partner and truly the better half, and Amit and Nikki, and all of you who have been here. I can see Mr. Ajay Ushaka. Thank you, and yes, and others who have been recognized. Dr. Philip did that, and Korean Foundation is represented here. And thank you so much. And so many of our senior friends are here, and thank you. And you were acknowledged earlier, and so grateful for your partnerships. And we have been overwhelmed by the support, and all the BBH staff would testify to that. Your being our supporters. Sir M. Vishweshwaraya, he said in Kannada, Tukku hididu hogabeda, tedu hogu. What he meant is that I would rather get worn out in service, but don't just rust where you are placed. And we would rather do that in service. We are full of memories looking back, yes. And there is another Kannada saying which says, Neerinalli doni irbeku, adare doniyalli neer irbardu. Badukinalli nenapugalu irbeku, adare nenapinalle badukirbardu. I think we can look back with gratitude. We can look back for a glimpse. But then that is to just learn lessons so that we can make new mistakes, because smart people make new mistakes. So we will look forward to that. And brighter days are ahead. Greater things are yet to be done. And as we are on the threshold of entry into the golden jubilee year, we are on the cusp of a new era. And Dr. Spurgeon, you are the right person to lead us into that. I shall reserve few of my comments for tomorrow, and I am 110% confident of a coherent, concordant, and God-fearing leadership, BBH. I think we are grateful for this. We look back with gratitude, look ahead with trust and hope. Dear friend, to each of you, your story is also that of BBH story. And I forgot to mention Dr. Gift. Thank you for being here and coming all the way. It means so much to us. Dr. Alex is back, and we had some things to say about you. Good ones. And yes, I thought I always walked very fast. Till this morning I was walking with Shobha. Well, dear friend, your story is the same as that of BBH's story. That is God's blessing and favor upon you, your labor of love in the Spirit of Jesus Christ. It's an act of worship. God will bless you. He will continue to use you. Thank you, BBH. It was my privilege to be your captain for a while. Thank you.
Now I know, sir, why a BBH sports event is called as Adrenaline. And that name didn't come from any other division but from Sister Shobha's division. We're so happy to have Dr. Alexander Thomas with us, our former director. We would invite sir to come and say a few words.
Thank you. After the captain has spoken, I'll keep my talk very brief. It seems like yesterday that I handed over to Naveen. It's actually 7 short years. And in these 7 years, I think BBH has grown so much and you impacted the community and the country in many ways. Keeping in mind that the patient is central and that whatever we do, we're doing in the spirit of Christ. So thank you, Naveen, on behalf of all of us. Thank you on behalf of the community for all you've done. Thank you for the many steps that you have taken ahead. And as we look forward, we want to say thank you to God and ask God to bless you, Asha, Nikki and Amit. I'm seeing Amit after almost 3 or 4 years. So God bless you. And as BBH continues its journey, may God continue to be with us and continue to bless, especially BBH, especially Naveen and the family and all of us. Thank you very much.
Dr. Alex, can I ask you to please stay back for a moment? Dr. Naveen, we have one more order for you. I want to request also Dr. Santosh Benjamin and Colonel Deepak Badi to come onto the stage. Dr. Naveen, please. We have a very special photo book. This was the unique work of some of our staff, and I must mention our boss here, Uday, Dr. Carol, and a few others, and the team who did an amazing work in bringing out this photo book. So I would request our former directors to hand over this photo book to Dr. Naveen. Well, we're going to show you that very soon. Don't lose heart. Look at this picture, friends. Isn't it a beautiful picture? Yeah. Both our heroes are sitting in that. When we're almost come to the end of our program, but we would like to see a very special video, and we'll play that video for you right now. brilliant. Friends, we've come to the end of our program. We want to thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, God, who helped us to brought us all together here. You've been an excellent audience. Thank you, Dr. Naveen and the family. A big thank you to Dr. Spurgeon and the entire admin committee for guiding us through this program. The BMAT team, the Baptist Hospital event management team, has done a fantastic job in this beautiful auditorium. Don't you like this auditorium? Beautiful, isn't it? So thank you very much, all of you, for coming here. Before we leave, I'm going to request Pastor Philip Mieselback to come here and give us the closing prayer and benediction. May I request all of you to please stand up.
That's so good. Anyways, may I say that 7 years ago when Dr. Naveen took over, I was asked to come in and pray him into this office. And of course I feel sorry today I have to come again and pray him out. I'm just kidding. Anyways, let's pray. Shall we go and pray? Most gracious Father, today we come to you with grateful hearts. We thank you as we appreciate what you have accomplished through Dr. Naveen for the past 7 years as his director and CEO. We know from your word in Psalm 37 that it says, the steps and the stops of righteous men and women are ordered by the Lord. Therefore, dear Father, we pray that you will continue to order Dr. Naveen's steps and bless the work of his hands as a surgeon in the years ahead. With great appreciation and gratitude, we commit him into your good, strong hands. Together as your people, we bless him in your name. We thank you for hearing our prayer. We pray in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. And now may the love of God and the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the communion and fellowship of the Spirit of God be with us now